Hello. Well, something's gone astray with my audio this morning. You guys hear me now? Hopefully you can. I think I can see the bars popping up now. Well, there you go. Always interesting, isn't it? This old technical world. When you turn things on, you think they should work. But there you go. Hey, good morning, everyone. Good to see you after a little bit of technical difficulty with our start. Good to see a bunch of you guys jumping on this morning. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Welcome to another marvellous Monday. A few shout-outs there to the crew who's online now. So good morning, Brendan and Sean, Alison, Graham, Hardick. Who else we got there? Rodney, Sharon, Aaron, Graham, Brendan, Sean, Joel, Carolyn. Good to see all you guys right now. Fantastic. Hopefully weekend was well, and hopefully Monday turns out to be marvellous as we hope. Hey, listen, there's an election on. It's been called, and you guys know this. I said it in the headline of our chat this morning, our Wealth Coffee Chat this morning. Our number one risk, property investor enemy number one, the crazy politicians, doing certain things when it comes to trying to get elected or changing policies or trying to be popular, can affect us as property investors, right? We all know that, when they talk about changing taxes or increasing this or going after that, we're going to get rid of negative gearing, we're going to increase capital gains tax, New South Wales, I don't know if anyone remembers. Tell me in the chat. Tell me right now how many attempts at messing with property and doing something to real estate the government has had or done when it comes to messing with the momentum of that asset class. Who remembers the thing? The one that I remember the longest ago, folks, was removing negative gearing. Does anyone remember that? Was anyone around as a property investor when they removed negative gearing? Now it's a bit long ago for me. Removing negative gearing, absolute disaster. So the GFC. Well, endless things. Removing negative gearing. Bringing in GST, and especially when they didn't get rid of the stamp duty and the GST. I remember the one in New South Wales where they had an exit tax. They said, we're going to get, not only do you pay stamp duty on the way in, but the state wanted this money, so you'd pay a state tax on the way out, an exit tax. So capital gains tax went to the government or the national government, and the state government wanted a piece of the action. I mean, seriously, land tax, stamp duty, all sorts of just strange stuff, messing with stamp duty all the time. So for us as property investors, when the politicians carry on, they change their minds, they change the rules, they go after the biggest asset class in Australia that we, as the majority of taxpayers, participate in. It gives us the heebie-jeebies, right? It just messes with our mojo and often messes with our wealth and our value. So, I thought we might sort of have a little talk about what that looks like this time round as we go. But for the moment, right now, I don't think there's going to be much, if any, problems for us to worry about when it comes to the politicians of either side, anywhere, no matter which way you slice or dice it at this moment in time. None of them are making too many noises about going after the property investors. The property investors ruin it for the first home buyers or whatever. At this moment in time, they're all taking it quite easy on us as property investors, which is good news for us, gang. And I think this election is going to be a bit when it comes to any policy or any negative issues for us as property investors. Have a look at what's going on now. Unemployment, 48-year low. And, the reality is, for all of us, you guys know plenty of these statistics, the vacancy rate at almost like a historic low, almost everywhere. We were just talking about that the other day. The supply chain is very low, if not the worst it's been in over 20 years. The amount of properties being constructed, we're about 150,000 properties a year at this moment in time, less than we need. We've got 600,000 people, earmarked to enter the country through immigration over the next 3 to 4 years. And so, the headwind of any political malarkey, any political mucking around at this moment in time is not there. Nothing seems to be an issue at this moment, which is good news. So for all of us, whichever way you vote, it doesn't seem to be an issue for us as property investors, which is nice. It's kind of nice to go into an election, in that sort of space. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is, the headwind that we're facing. Tell me in the chat, gang, what's the number one headwind we're facing right now? Probably from a confidence point of view, and there's a real, not a real issue, but it's a fact. I think both sides aren't very clear about what they're up to, but that's nothing new, unfortunately. Whoever that is, but they're not dinging the bell when it comes to entering this election, team. So what happens often, in my 22 years, every time there's been some sort of attack on the property sector entering into an election, that's when there's been sort of, some slowdown, some issues, even some negative growth when it comes to the property market. But I think they all hide what they're up to in reality. It's a popularity contest, unfortunately, not running the country properly, sadly. But I'm not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about us as property investors understanding a few things. What is the headwind? What's the thing that we're going to feel the effects of in this next few years, team? Tell me in the chat right now what you guys know that is. Most of us know our number one headwind coming up. Everything else seems to be, what I would say, not necessarily in our favour, but not against us when it comes to our property, our building our portfolio, growing our wealth, etc. What's our number one headwind issue that we're facing? Yep, dead right, Alison. Lending access to capital at the moment is, mid-ground. It's not too bad. It would be lovely if it was a bit better, but, it's not at the moment. But, interest rates for sure. So in and around the borrowing and interest rates is our number one headwind right now. I grabbed this chart. Matusik does some pretty good stuff when it comes to some stats. And it's really quite interesting about, stagnation of a property market. Morning, Yasmin. How are you? The time frames between when we get growth and then either we have an adjustment or a stagnation when it comes to, the Aussie property market. And, check this one out, team. I don't know if anyone notices when you look at this here. Tell me what you notice. By and large, when it comes to the chart here, what little trajectory are you noticing here when it comes to the years of, let's say, flat or no growth when it comes to this chart? Because at the moment, we've had a pretty good run of it across the Australian property market. The last couple of years have been pretty kind for most people who've owned a bit of real estate. And that's right, Chris. And the stagnating length is increasing. Is decreasing. Is reducing. So now it's an interesting one. Things are reducing. Now, I've got a theory on this, about why this is occurring. Does anyone know what happened in 2003? A turning point of the Australian property market in 2003. 2003. And funnily enough, that's when Positive Real Estate was incorporated, but that wasn't it. What business opened its doors in 2003, which was to change the Australian property landscape forever? What business changed the property landscape in Australia forever? Anyone know what that business was, team? Some of you might get this. I think I've talked about it once or twice before. Chuck that in the chat for me there if you think you know what it is. Tell me. Boom. Oh, Shay. My wife, you stole my thunder, my love. But anyway, that's good. Shay knows. Realestate.com. Who knows realestate.com? Realestate.com.au. Now, this little business started in 2003, and what it has done, it has allowed all of us to be able to... Now, that's not bad, actually, in comparison to how my normal things go. New South Wales looking a bit average. But anyway, where are you, ACT? Round about there. Anyway, it's not a great Australian drawing. But right now, wherever you are in Australia, wherever you are right now, within maybe a minute, maybe 5 minutes, between 60 and 180 seconds, you could right now find out, say, what is the price of a house in, let's say, I don't know, Townsville right now. What's the average price of a house in Townsville right now? A 4-bedroom house in Townsville right now. And if I was to say to you guys, quick, jump on the internet, tell me what it is. I could search online right now, and we could find it. No matter where you are in Australia right now or the world, no matter where these cities are, whether it's Bunbury or, Port Hedland or Karratha, or, I don't know, Bega, Ballina, what else in Adelaide, I don't know, what are the ones in Adelaide? Port Pirie or, Catherine, anywhere in Australia right now, the realestate.com has helped us access real estate information at the touch of a button, and it's gotten quicker and it's gotten more efficient, simple. You can set up alerts, you can do all sorts of things on it, which is fantastic. What that has done, folks, the team, is it has taken away the inefficiency of that information in the marketplace. And the Australian market, for a while, for a decent time here, connected to also, the mining boom, had a real run around Australia because of this information being spread. Now, yes, mining and, wages and all those sorts of things grew significantly as well. But what happened was someone in Sydney discovered a little town called Kalgoorlie. For the first time, they could buy a property in Kalgoorlie without leaving the city. They could work things out. That's how Positive Real Estate first started. We were a buyer's agency that helped people buy properties outside of cities. That's how we got our Guernsey. That's how we started. So the speed, bringing it back to the point of this team, the speed at which growth is flat or there's no growth in the marketplace is reducing. Shelley, there you go. Joel said about $600,000. So team, like you can buy a 4-bedroom house in Brisbane for $600,000. So what it's done, it's flattened out this like value thing all around the country. And it's quite interesting to see that stuff. All right. There you go. Townsville median house 747 and units 365. There you go, Chris. So team, this is the thing. This is the thing. The speed of this information, the speed of us finding out the average rental yield or where our money can be and where our money can go and what returns we can get, facilitated, has the effect of speeding up marketplaces, speeding up the supply and the distribution of money, speeding up, information and, confirmation when we're looking to invest. So for me, I think that is only going to probably continue that trend. It might sort of get might get an aggregate now, maybe 2 to 3 years or 2 to 4 years is kind of the aggregate where there's sort of slower to low growth and then it kicks off again because it makes sense doesn't make any sense that there's been no growth because of X and Y and Z. So what does this all mean? Let's bring it together. For me, I don't think there's any issues we immediately can see for the coming election team. Like whoever it said before, the old pollies aren't always transparent. Well, yes, that's very, very true. If we have some adjustments in growth trajectory, then I don't think it'll stay for long. For all sorts of reasons. We've got undersupplies and all sorts of stuff, but in reality, the time frame of the marketplace, being stagnant has been getting shorter over time, and I think that's predictive of what we're going to see in the future, team, as we go along. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll be something different. We shall see as we roll into this next little bit. But reality is, team, put your rents up, look after your properties and your tenants, and you're going to be all right in the medium to long-term future when it comes to your portfolio. I think that's about it from me this morning, team. Hopefully you're all right on a Monday. Hopefully this week's looking pretty good for you. Easter's coming up. I think it's a short week this week. We've got Friday off, which is awesome. Going to eat a bunch of Easter eggs with the kids. But other than that, get ourselves organised for the week. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day, team. All right, that's it from me. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted. Little technical glitch at the start, but we got there. We got there in the end. All right, team. You guys have an awesome day. Adios. Bye-bye.